This is an open letter about intelligence agencies. About 10, 8, 10, 12 years ago, I'm sure everybody remembers that Julie, some couple of one or more than one, two women, girls, women, in Swedish women, came out and accused Julian Assange of rape. And recently, in a year or 2 years ago, after the British were able to take custody of Mr. Julian Assange based on the rape accusations, those women actually withdrew their accusations and went away, because apparently now that the British had custody of Julian Assange, then they were able to charge him with whatever the Uncle Sam's managers were able to throw at him, and have extradition hearing to send him to Uncle Sam's managers to hang him by his balls, apparently, for speaking up, speaking the truth about the war crimes that were committed based on factual evidence, war crimes that were committed by some of Uncle Sam's managers in the Middle East. There's some he exposed some facts, some evidence about criminal activity taking place, war crimes taking place, including indiscriminate killing of civilians, purposeful killing of civilians, especially the bunch of reporters that were cut down by drone strike. That was the most famous video that came out. So all that aside, still remain to be proven, but unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately for some, or fortunately for some, the Uncle Sam's managers threatened the International Criminal Court judges from investigating, or else. Okay, that's beside the point. My point is this: the rape part. I'm sorry, but rape has lost, in my view, rape has lost its meaning. Because here we have Julian Assange, they just wanted a reason to incarcerate him for a while until they can charge him for another crime. So they just, the intelligence agencies put some pressure on some women, girls who happen to spend some time with Julian Assange, whether they had sex with him or not. Apparently that's beside the point. The point is a woman, all it takes is for a woman to say she was raped, and then, that's it. The guy is incarcerated, and then investigation has to happen, and then all of that comes after. The guy may be, proven innocent, or the women can withdraw their accusation of rape, but that doesn't help when the guy's reputation goes down the toilet because of the accusation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether the women and the girls pull their accusation out and recant. It doesn't matter, because Julian Assange, once he's in the fucking British jail, now he's waiting extradition hearing to Uncle Sam's land. They're gonna probably hang him by his balls. But the point is this: this rape concept has become handy. Whoever you have issue with, you want to get, if the system wants to get you, they will convince some women or girl that you spend time with to accuse you of rape. Apparently that's possible. You know, they pay the woman or the woman to accuse the man of rape, or they can, put other pressures. Everybody has has sensitive areas. Nobody's a saint. Everybody has done something so that they're not proud of. So all it takes for the intelligence agencies is to say, hey, if you don't accuse such and such a person of rape, that man that you spend time with, if you don't accuse him of rape, we're going to go after you for this, that, or the other. So this rape thing has become an instrument, a very strong instrument in the hands of intelligence agencies and the deep state. On top of the rape, I can say even this matter of child pornography. It's a very heinous thing at viewing children in a sexual context is a very heinous thing. It's very very, it's a dirty act. It's a dirty concept. But here's the thing, this for example, child pornography. I've noticed, here's an example how this can pan out, whether now or in the future. I've noticed that I have a 95%, 85%, 80% of people in the world, I have Windows on my computer. So what happens is that during the past 6 months or so, I've had difficulties with this Windows because every time it updated, it locked me out the next day. The updates came overnight without my permission. The computer turns on, which is connected to the internet. The computer turns on and does an update. So the next morning I wake up and the computer is locked. It's a blue screen that says, okay, you either have to restart your computer or reformat your computer, or here other option, you restart it a couple of times and you get back the blue screen, and eventually you go with the other options, which is the main option that I have had to execute for the past 6 months, has been reformat the whole fucking computer because the update was not successful. Microsoft sent some kind of update that didn't match my computer hardware or other software on the computer. Anyway, the whole fucking thing stopped working and I had to reinstall Windows. I've done it something like 10 times during the past 6 months to a year. 10 times I've had to reinstall my Windows with all my files wiped out. Wiped. So after maybe 3 or 4 times, 5 times, I researched it a little and found out, okay, there is a way around it. There is a box that if you go into setting and you click on this box, you say you don't want any new Microsoft update for Windows. You unclick that box, and supposedly it's supposed to stop any updates from coming in and updating your computer. I did that, didn't help. Updates came in, apparently it doesn't affect. Microsoft has direct contact with my Windows in my computer, with my files. They have direct contact and I can't do anything about it. They upload, they download, I don't know if they upload, they download whenever they want, whatever they want. And you're thinking to yourself, and even when you follow the procedure and say, okay, I don't want you to download any updates for my fucking computer, leave the fucking computer alone, Microsoft does their own thing, updates it anyway. And sometimes even while you're sitting there, it doesn't give you an option. It says, would you like 3 minutes to restart this computer with the update, or would you like 5 minutes? Sort of like, is no way in hell we're going to let you continue using this fucking computer unless you update it. Download the files that we send and supposedly update your computer, and then we let you continue fucking using the computer. So I was thinking the other day, what is preventing Microsoft? We know that, the intelligence services are in lockstep with these large corporations. We know that. We already know about, Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, and how FBI and CIA and NSA have complete access to it and have their own people in it, and they hush some stories up and they cover up some stories, some posts, and they delete some posts, and they suspend some people, and do this and do that, just in order to keep a certain narrative going. Anybody who posts anything that goes against this narrative, the post is removed and the person is suspended. We already know that. And we already know Bill Gates is, in lockstep with the intelligence agencies, Microsoft. And we know that because we know Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligent agent. And an agent belonging to one or multiple of these intelligence agencies. And we have pictures of Bill Gates with Jeffrey Epstein. All these people, maybe, Bill Gates, I kind of doubt that he had any use for 14, 15, and 16-year-old girls. Kind of doubt that part of it. But I'm sure the part with regards to the intelligence aspect of Jeffrey Epstein is what Bill Gates was involved with. They were both deeply connected to the intelligence agencies. Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Gates, and anybody else at that, level of wealth, connection, and politics is well connected to the intelligence agencies, or else intelligence agencies are going to get rid of them. They're going to just literally kill them. Either you dance to our tune, or we're going to eliminate you. So they have no choice but to be connected to these intelligence agencies. And what is stopping an intelligence agency telling Mr. Bill Gates or somebody like him, with their own apparatus, the intelligence agency apparatus that they have inside these large corporations such as Microsoft, to intentionally download certain files? Let's say, for example, kiddie porn, child pornography, download on purpose certain files on computers of people they don't like. So basically it becomes sort of like planting evidence. We already know that police, from time to time, do plant evidence in order to get the guy they want to get. They drop some, drugs or guns or whatever they need to drop off in the guy's car. They drop it off. One guy drops off the evidence, plants the evidence, and the other police officer comes and finds the evidence. Because they just want to get this guy for whatever reason. Maybe he wasn't paying his dues. But for whatever reason, we already know that the police do this from time to time. They plant evidence and they find the evidence that they have planted, and there goes the guys accused of this, and the other. The same thing can be done with this unregulated updates, with this unwanted updates, with this idea that fucking Microsoft has access to my computer whenever they like, however they like, download whatever they want, update whatever they want, anytime, when I'm fucking asleep at night. When they have that kind of access, what is preventing the CIA or the FBI or the NSA to, tell Microsoft, hey, why don't you, down the next update that you're sending, hey, download 100 pictures of such and such, you know, band whatever, and download it in that, you know, that fellow's computer over there, and then the next day FBI comes and finds the planted evidence in that poor bastard's computer. This is nuts. You know, they have you by the nuts. When Microsoft or Apple or whoever the fuck gets this free access to your computer that you cannot fucking prevent, they can download whatever program they want and update your computer whenever they want. So in theory, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but in theory, the FBI, CIA, NSA, if they want to get somebody, all they have to do is ask Microsoft to, in their next, you know, the next time they send some files to update your computer, they send some extra files, which you don't know that they're there. And then the next day or the next week or the next month, the FBI people come and find it there. Come on, this is too easy. This is too easy to, it's very easy for Microsoft to plant evidence for the government, for the security services. Just as easily as the security services went and persuaded those women to accuse Julian Assange of rape. They just put some pressure on them. They bought them, they forced them, they did whatever they did, and they just came out and accused Julian Assange of rape. Which wasn't. Come on, the guy is a fucking computer geek. He's not a raping kind. Just like many of these poor bastards who have been accused of, you know, having child porn on their computer, I kind of doubt that too. Because it's very easy for Microsoft to download whatever the fuck they want on your computer. It's sort of, you're living in the matrix here. You can be accused of things you haven't done. They can find evidence of things you didn't have. I'm sorry, but this is. I'm sorry, but this is when you say that when this is mad. This is mad. This is like. Security apparatus, intelligence agencies have got such power that, you know, you kind of wonder that if you say things that they don't like, then they have always a whole lot of ways of interfering in your life by just planting evidence, bringing forth witnesses, bringing forth accusations of things you haven't done. Give you another example. Again, these intelligence agencies, they're just, you know, I'm sorry, like this Robert Kennedy, the presidential candidate, says maybe they should be, you know, restarted, taken out, and go in with fresh set of eyes, with very much more people of principles have to take the place of the people who have convinced, for example, these intelligence agencies who have convinced those women to accuse Julian Assange of rape. I mean, the whole sector should be fired, and, you know, some people of conscience should be hired in their place. That goes without saying. But there is no such accountability. It's sort of like the end justifies the means. I'll give you another example. Salute. In Pakistan, you read the articles that in Pakistan, the way they found bin Laden was they had these fake um, vaccination units, multiple units of fake vaccination people going out, and the idea was not, they were not vaccinating anybody, they were just injecting people with saline solution, salt water solution, not harmful supposedly, but there was no vaccination. The idea was just to DNA test different men that they of bin Laden's age, get some DNA sample from their body to test them in that area that they had reason to believe bin Laden is living. They get DNA samples, come and test them to supposedly find bin Laden. I don't want to go into that. What I want to mention here is the same problem. Now, after the story came out and okay, in this way we found bin Laden and we went and fucked him up, okay, fine. But now, for years, for a decade after what the CIA had done in order to, with these fake vaccination units that they sent out all around Pakistan, now what has happened is that the people of Pakistan, they no longer trust the vaccination units that go to their homes, because you see one fake, you think they're all fake. So many are just, shooing away the vaccination units. They don't want to, present their children to the vaccination units that go to their villages. Because it's obvious. There's a saying in English, it's a once bitten, twice scared, something like that. There is nobody cares whether that population over there, whether they trust vaccination unit after we are done, whether they're going to have issues vaccinating people. Who cares? It's the end justifies the means, and the blowback is not important. Bin Laden itself was a fucking blowback to, occupying Saudi Arabia with military personnel and, invasion of Muslim land. That himself was a blowback to that. Now using the fake vaccination unit to get to him, now this has a blowback. Why don't you folks just stay home? I mean, this idea that intelligence agencies have very short perspective on everything. They have a mission to execute this mission. They are given wide open space to do whatever it takes to achieve their objective. Whatever it takes. Whether you have to, like Mr. Pompeo said about learning lessons in CIA, whether you have to cheat, steal, rob, kill, rape, do whatever you accuse people of rape, accuse people of child molestation, accuse people of being in possession of child porn, but whatever it takes apparently is okay to achieve the means that the boss, achieve the end that the boss has set, achieve the goals that the boss of the CIA or the FBI has set. To achieve those ends, you have open hand to do whatever you need to do. Is that right? Is that sane? That's insane. And then you look on the other side, you say Jeffrey Epstein has had all these clients, from political figures to top economic figures, from the boss of the owner of Victoria's Secret to Bill Clinton. But then in this aspect, the intelligence agency's job is to prevent any of these girls from accusing anybody of rape. So in case of Julian Assange, the computer nerd who never raped anybody, they force people to accuse him of rape, the intelligence agencies. And in case of that lawyer and that that high Dershowitz, that high priced lawyer, and the owner of Victoria's Secret, the other Jeffrey Epstein client, and Dershowitz, the other Jeffrey Epstein client, and Bill Clinton, and a bunch of other high profile clients that Jeffrey Epstein had. In those cases, the intelligence agencies, through Jeffrey Epstein's and other means, they forced these girls to prevent them, force them not to accuse anybody of rape, although they have been raped. Well, sex with a minor is considered as rape. Might not be, they may have been paid for the pussy, but when it's underage, it's rape. Still is considered rape by the law. So you have intelligence agencies who accuse innocent people of whatever they want, plant evidence, or convince people to accuse, to bear false witness, to achieve their objective, in this case rape. And then you have, on this case, the objective is to protect certain high profile figure, so they force the girls who have been raped to keep silent. So the rape has lost all its meaning. I no longer believe anybody who screams rape, because it's not clear whether this is forced to speak up, or forced, or have been forced to stay silent, and now is speaking. Now it's no longer forced. Now, I'm sorry, but yeah. As always, intelligence agencies, which are given a goal to achieve and are given open arm, open hand, open space to do whatever they need to do to achieve that goal, that's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for disaster. And it's plainly clear that Jeffrey Epstein was working for the intelligence agencies, one or more intelligence agencies. It's quite clear, and the main reason is he didn't have any fear of anything. The way he went about his business, he went about his life in the casual manner that he did some of the things that he was doing. It shows that he only feared the local shithead police, the local nobody police. He only feared them because they were not involved. And a few times he got in trouble with the local police in Florida, and somebody from high up called the local police and told them to back off. So that was his only thing, and he wasn't scared of them. He just didn't want to make a scene. So, he didn't want to have to call his buddies high up in the intelligence agencies to call the local police. So he tried to keep away from the local police. Therefore, get your own island in the Caribbean. Therefore, you don't have to deal with the fucking local police in Florida or New York if you have your own island. But high up in the intelligence agencies? Of course they knew what the fuck he was doing. You can't tell me that Bill Clinton, having 24-hour Secret Service protection, you can't tell me he got on Lolita Express 20, 30, 40 times and his security service detail didn't go with him on Lolita Express, stayed on back on the ground, didn't follow him, not even one of them, and they didn't know he's going on Lolita Express. What happened? Bill Clinton reached the airport, the private airport that he was about to get on Lolita Express with a couple of 14-year-old girls. He was about to get on a plane, and then before getting on the plane, he told the Secret Service to hit the road, and he doesn't need them, and they left without follow-up. And they didn't know that he's getting on Lolita Express. You can say that, but nobody's gonna buy it. So again, you have intelligence agencies helping, facilitating the rape of some girls, and the same intelligence agencies making up stories, forcing some other girls, falsely accusing somebody they don't like, their target, of, falsely accusing him of rape in case of Julian Assange. You have the two sides of the opposite sides. You have Bill Clinton and Julian Assange. And in the middle of this, you lose respect for all intelligence agencies. You lose trust in all intelligence agencies. And you're no longer, you lose the whole word rape becomes a little meaningless because, it's just, every time you hear it, you're like, I wonder whether this is, forced confession, made up, planted evidence, or, whether this is real or fake. And something as important as rape, when it becomes a matter of, opinion and matter of maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Maybe probably they wanted to get the motherfucker, so they're forcing people to accuse him of rape. Or at that point, rape. The word rape has lost all its meaning. On that level, the whole the whole idea of possession of incriminating evidence with regards to child porn and whatever is connected to the fucking computer, because apparently Microsoft can get into your computer whether you like it or not. Then the whole idea of planting electronic evidence on your computer is a child's play for Microsoft, and that's no longer believable. So if they tell me they found some child pornography in somebody's computer, I'm very suspicious, because I know Microsoft has the ability to do it, to plant those evidence. It can be done. So that's not a for sure thing either. Rape is not for sure. Child pornography is not for sure. So basically, I'm sorry, people have lost all trust in intelligence apparatus of the West. They have the right to lose all trust in the intelligence apparatus, because so many times they have been lied to. Now, I'm not talking about the Eastern intelligence apparatus. They're shit. I don't even want to go there, because they're beyond redemption. But the Western intelligence apparatus should have some kind of, moral high ground, not do certain things just to reach short-term goals. You just don't do that. Some fucking principles. Some principles are nice. If you don't have principles, you have nothing. You lose all trust. Everybody loses trust in you if you don't hold yourself to some principles. If you don't hold yourself up to some principles, everyone is going to lose trust in you.